Hello, everybody. Welcome to our third math lesson. We are on lesson 1.3. What numbers have which properties? All right, so today our objective is we are going to be able to see the relationship between numbers and their properties. So we've talked about this a little bit, but we're going to talk a little bit more about what that means. What are properties? How can they help us find a specific number? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with some puzzles. So this puzzle has one answer. We're going to look for one number that answers all these clues here. Okay, and I'm going to use some scratch paper so I don't take up all my note area. You guys can follow along with me and do it also, or you can just watch. Either way, I'm going to draw out all of these clues so I can make sure that I'm meeting each one of them. Okay, so let's start with clue number one. Clue number one says, I am less than 30. All right, so I'm going to use my scratch paper here. Okay, so I am less than 30. That's a pretty easy clue. That just means that my number is anywhere from 1 to 29 because it said it's less than 30, not equal to 30, less than 30, and 29 is less than 30. So my number must be between 1 and 29. Okay, it could be any number in between there. All right, let's look at our second clue. Clue number two. Oh, let's see if it'll focus. Give it a second. There we go. Number two, I can make a square array. A square array. All right, so we talked about that in our last session a bit. A square array, remember, must have the same number being multiplied together to get to that final number. So I'll draw out some of the ones that I already know of, okay? I know that 2 times 2, that equals 4. Okay, I could do 3 times 3, and I know that equals 9. Okay, so far it could be any of these because 4 and 9 are in between 1 and 29, so it could be either one of these answers. All right, I could do 4 times 4. And that would be 16. I could do 5 times 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, sorry, mine's is starting to get a little uneven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's still technically the same. I just got a little off of my spacing there. My bad. All right, 5 times 5, that would be 25. Okay, now if I keep going, if I went to my next square array, I would be doing 6 times 6. And then since I know my multiplication facts already, I know 6 times 6 would be 36. And that's too big. So I'm not even going to draw that out because I know that couldn't possibly be my answer because my first clue said it's between 1 and 29. So it could be 4, 9, 16, or 25. Okay, it could be any of those because they're between 1 and 29 and they all make square arrays. All right, so I have 4 possibilities here. That's pretty good. I narrowed it down quite a bit from the last one. Okay, let's see what our next clue is. Clue number 3, I can make an array that is too wide. Okay, I can make an array that is too wide. Well, I already know that number 4 can make an array that's too wide. I already have it here, 2 and 2. So that's definitely an option. Okay, how about 9? Okay, oh, if I made an array that's too wide with 9, I'm not sure if that'll work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's not an array. That is not equal. So you know what? I cannot do the number 9 in an array that's too wide. It's not going to work. Okay, how about 16? I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, well that made an array. We have 2 on this side and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on this side. Okay, that made a correct array. And then my last clue is 25. All right, if I do 25 in 2s, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Ah, that one does not work. I have one extra sticking out here. So it is not going to be 25. That does not make a correct array. Okay, well, I narrowed it down some more. I know that 4 could be a possibility because I already had that array here. And then I made 16 into an array that is 2 wide. Okay, so it could be 4 or it could be 16. I only have 2 options right now. Let's check our last clue. Clue number 4, I am greater than 5. Okay, well, let's see what we have. 4 and 16 are our only 2 options. 4 is not greater than 5, which means our final answer must be 16. It's the only number that hits all 4 clues. So my final answer is 16. All right, let's go to our next puzzle. I'm going to get rid of that one so we don't get confused by it. All right, puzzle number 2. Okay, clue number 1. I can make an array that is 3 wide. 3 wide. Okay, so let me go ahead and start by drawing out an array that's 3 wide. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I could start with just 3. I could add on another one. That would be 6, 9. I'm actually going to write these down. 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. I could keep going on for quite a while here. Each time I'm just adding another row of 3, but each one of these is still 3 wide. Let's see if that'll fix that for a second. So each one of those is 3 wide, which means my total number is still going to be in line with my clue that it's 3 wide. Okay, so I could keep going here, but I think instead of just drawing endless rows of 3 wide arrays, I'm going to see what my next clue is, see if that can help me determine what I am looking for a little bit better. Clue number 2, I can make an array that is 4 wide. Okay, all right, so now I'm going to do the same thing but with 4 dots. Okay, so if I start with 4, then I can add my next row. That would be 8, 12, 16, 20, okay? That's quite a few. And again, I could keep going and just keep adding these on, okay? But I still have 2 more clues. So I'm gonna look back at my other 2 clues and figure out how to narrow this down a little bit. I know that it has to be an array that can be 3 wide, but can also be 4 wide. So I'm gonna be looking for a number that's in both of these 2 arrays that I was just making, okay? But I also have some other clues to keep in mind also. Clue number 3, I am greater than 20. And then let's go ahead and read clue number 4 also. I am less than 30. Greater than 20 and less than 30. Okay, that's gonna be, that's gonna really shrink down our options here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep going on my 3s up until the number 30, or as close as I can get to 30, okay? Because I know it's not gonna be bigger than that. And then I'll do the same thing with 4. And I'm gonna compare and see if I have any of the same numbers on both sides. Okay, so if I keep going with my 3s, I'm on 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. All right, so I've got 30 there. On my 4s, I have 20 right here, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. And then if I go to the next one, it's gonna be 32. That's gonna be too much. So I can stop right there. All right, so now I'm going to look at my 2 sides and see, do I have any numbers that are the same? Because it has to be one that can have 3, but it can also have 4. So I need the number to be in both of these. All right, so I don't see 3 over here. I don't see 6 over here. I don't see 9 over here. Oh, I do see 12. 12 is on both sides. 15, no. 18, no. 21, no. 20, oh, 24. There we go. 27, no. 30, no. Okay, so I only have two options, 12 and 24. But if you remember, one of my other clues was I am greater than 20. Well, 12 is not greater than 20. So my final answer is going to be the only one that's greater than 20, less than 30 on both of these, and that is 24. Okay, so my final answer is going to be 24 here. All right, so let me keep this here for a second. So what we just did, friends, is we used properties of each one of these numbers to find that number. Okay, these clues are properties. Okay, so remember the different ways to find a number, those are the properties of it. So 16 is less than 30. That's a property of 16. Okay, 16 can also make a square array. That means it's a square number. Okay, a square number, that's a property of 16. Okay, so a property of a number is how we can describe that number, how you could find it without telling me that number. You can describe it to me by using its properties. All right, we're going to be using that quite often, so keep that number in, or that word in mind, properties. In fact, I'm even going to underline it. Okay, the properties are how you can find a number, or how you can describe a number. Okay, all right, now on your homework tonight, okay, your homework is going to ask you to do some interesting things. Okay, so it's going to ask you to go over some of your multiplication facts, with which many of you should know. If you don't know, please be practicing them, because you're going to need to know those as fast as you possibly can in 5th grade. So please, please, please be practicing those multiplication facts. For those of you who might need a little bit of help with your multiplication facts, which, like me, I always had trouble with the 7s. I don't know what it was, but when I was growing up trying to memorize those multiplication facts, I could never remember the 7s. I always needed clues to remember my 7s well. Okay, if you're like me and you have a number or a section of your multiplication facts that you just have a hard time remembering, tonight's homework is perfect for you. Okay, because your homework tonight is going to ask you to give yourself a clue using things you know about that number, okay, or things you know that are similar to that number, right? So, for example, one of the hardest ones for me was always 7 times 9. 7 times 9, now I know it equals 63, but I always forgot that when I was younger. So 7 times 9 equals 63, and we also know that 9 times 7 equals 63. We just switched those around, okay? So this fact, 9 times 7 equals 63, 7 times 9 equals 63. If I'm having trouble remembering that, one thing I can do to help myself is give myself a clue. Well, I know 7 times 9, okay? 9 is very close to 10, and I do know 7 times 10, okay? 7 times 10, because my 10s were very easy to memorize. I knew those very quickly. So 7 times 10, I know that equals 70, right? Well, that's only one more 7 than what I was doing here. So if I'm having trouble remembering this one, 7 times 9, I can give myself a clue by writing this, and then I can just remember, well, if that one's 70, and it's just one less 7, because I have 10 groups of 7 here and 9 groups of 7 here, if I'm just doing one less group of 7, I can take away 7, and that'll be my answer. Okay, so if I already know this one, it can help me figure out the one that I'm struggling with based on things that I know about these other numbers, okay, and those other factors. All right, so here's another example. Let's say that you are familiar with, well, let's say this. The problem is 4 times 5, okay, and you have trouble remembering that one. Okay, 4 times 5 equals 20, 5 times 4 equals 20. So maybe you always have trouble remembering that one, but you always remember the one below that, 4 times 4, because that's a square number. Maybe it just stuck with you. You got it stuck in your head. 4 times 4 equals 16. You're like, I got that one. That one is not going to leave me, okay? Well, you can use the same strategy we did here. Look at this. If you already know 4 times 4, this next one is just one more group. I can even draw it out in an array. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? That's 4 times 4 equals 16, right? To make it 4 times 5, all I'm gonna do is add one more row. I just added 4 more, that's it, right? If I did it That's 4. All of them together, that's 5. Sorry, my brackets aren't very good. So I just added one more group of 4 there. So if I already know 4 times 4 is 16, I can take this answer, 16, and just add one more group of 4. 16 plus 4, and guess what? That's going to get me my answer of 20. Okay, so when you are working on tonight's homework, and they're asking you for a clue, more stop, and they're asking you for a clue, this is the kind of thing they're talking about. Use facts that you already know. Use addition facts. You can use other multiplication facts, division facts, things that you already know about these numbers to help you get to these ones that you're struggling with, all right? And if you just happen to be super lucky and you have all these memorized and you've worked hard and you have them all done, then I still want you to write down some clues, but think about it, how would you help someone who is struggling with that number, okay? Maybe you've got it down, but maybe one of your friends cannot remember 4 times 5. What clue could you come up with to help them remember? Okay, so that's what you're going to be focusing on for tonight's homework. We will talk about that at our next live session. All right, have a great day, friends.